I'm the only
Look
one.
at that. You like the new fashion trend?
Oh, you know, that's such a classic look. There's, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
You guys are Team Romeo these days.
Team Romeo.
All right.
I won't be caught dead in a turquoise shirt.
This is a Reddington shirt, though. It's a nice shirt, but the color's a little, you know. But I am comfortable with myself, so I can wear stuff like that.
Welcome to the Outdoor Lines Last Cast. I'm Tom Nelson, and I'm a terrible halibut fisherman. Of course, Robbie Tobek came in today, or jumped on the show today, and lit me up for getting skunked on the halibut opener. So
I don't know if you're a terrible halibut fisherman. You just happen to not catch any halibut this week.
And
but I think
there was some to catch. There was some. There's a few
guys are getting some halibut, and guys are getting kokanee. Dwayne,
Yes.
we had 260 people put in for this this Lamaglass kokanee rod.
Here you go, right here.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Tom.
Yeah.
No.
There you go.
No.
Boy.
There we go.
You know what? Just because we do things authentically.
Why do half of those say Dwayne England on it?
Well, because I'm trying to get one of these doggone rods.
So who won the rod today?
You know, Sal Jr.
So who's Sal Jr.?
Sal Pastino Jr. You know, fan of the show, him and his dad, and they've actually come out fishing with me. They booked trips with me, and you know what? Last year, Sal Jr. had him on the Satsupp, and in 3 casts, that kid, 12 years old, fighting fish like a pro. That kid landed a Chinook and a coho and another Chinook. I think it was an Edward. 3 casts in a row, 3 chrome fish, floating eggs. Took him out on the drift boat for a whole day. We landed so many fish that day. That kid had a day of his life.
Notice he said float, not bobber.
That's right.
Well, some people say bobber, some people say float. So that's pretty cool that Sal grabbed that.
So Sal grabbed the kokanee rod, and you know what? There's a lot of names in there, and we know a lot of these people. They're fans of the show. They're clients. They're friends. They're Facebook
likers. So,
yeah, Facebook likers.
Somebody grabbed that book from Ken Cannon.
Yep, we got the Kokanee Obsession, and I got to find that tag. Oh, it's in here somewhere. But we'll get that information out on Facebook. I'll have people contact me, and we'll send this out. We'll make a phone call and see how we're going to get that distributed. But we have another one of these to give away.
Okay, 2 more weeks we'll be giving away another
2 more weeks
right?
we're going to give it.
Correct.
And I think that's about the 19th, so the day of the Kokanee Derby on Lake Stevens. We'll come up with something to give that second rod away.
Springer action has shifted to the tributaries. Now the closest place that you can get a Springer to the studio right here is probably the Cowlitz River, okay? I mean, you could say yes. You could argue the Kalama, okay, or maybe the coast if you want to just as a crow flies. But you guys were down on the Cowlitz yesterday, pulling quickies, and of course a float and a
floating eggs.
Cowlitz cocktail. We picked up 1 Springer, and a Cowlitz cocktail is, by the way, it's eggs, cured eggs with a sand shrimp. That's the Cowlitz cocktail.
No big secret.
No big secret. It's been around for a long time. But the other great technique, and this has been around for years, is back trolling quick fish. This is a K15, kind of the best all-around size. Brought in one of my setups. This is a Lamaglass medium heavy. They've got a bunch of rods specifically designed for quick fish.
The Kenai Quick.
Oh man, they've got a bunch of them. I've had this one around for years. I got a bunch of these. I run them with a jet diver. If you're flatlining, you can simply just snap this jet diver off of here. This is on a slider with a couple of beads. 50-pound leader in here. You can run 40, 50-pound leader. Don't worry about going real light. If they're not spooked by the quick fish, trust me, they're not going to really care about the leader. K15. This has a couple of single hooks. These are open ice Siwash Mustad hooks, 5/0 with swivels on the end. Of course, you want to put a sardine wrap. Dwayne, you use mackerel and all kinds of
holy mackerel.
Yeah. I'm a sardine guy. You put a sardine wrap on here. Back troll these out. I usually run them anywhere from 50 to 70 feet, depending on depth. Abu Garcia. What's this?
6,500 line counter. Great
line counter reel, so you can tell exactly where you're at. Loaded up with 30-pound braid. I know a lot of guys that'll run 50-pound braid. Yep. They'll use the same rods, fishing buoy 10, back trolling quick fish up in the river, whatnot. There you go. There's your basic setup. Just remember, with these quick fish, after you wrap them with that sardine, you've got to tune them every time. So put them down in the water, make sure they're tracking straight. If they're going right or left, you've got to twist the eye the opposite direction that they're running to get them to run straight up and down.
Couple points I want to enlarge upon. The use of braid, number one, if you use monofilament, you got a lot more line drag involved, and you'll get a better connection to you and the fish with a lot less stretch if you use the braid. The swivels and the Siwash hooks are an addition. They come stock with treble hooks. That's okay. It's a lot easier to wrap with the single hook and the swivel plus, the swivel and that Siwash hook gives the fish a lot less leverage. A lot of times 2 treble hooks on a plug, they can chew on that and work one treble against the other, eventually spitting that thing out. But you've got that thing rigged up. That is the professional rigging right there.
And it's funny how, I mean, with treble hooks or single hooks, you know, you leave these things in the holder, okay? And you let them, you don't grab the rod till they're screaming line off the reel. It's still crazy how many you miss.
Yeah.
I mean, you can grab that rod, they're screaming line, and they come loose.
You can't figure it out.
But I guarantee you, if you grab the rod the second they hit that thing, you're going to miss every one of them.
You got to, with any kind of successful angling, you got to kind of visualize what's going on. And we talked about, you know, a lot of different techniques. But when that plug's working and that fish comes and grabs it, if you pull it right at that moment, okay, you're not going to get him. You're going to see the rod going down. If, on the other hand, that fish turns and actually is taking line off the reel,
that's when you get that rod going down all the way. It stays put. They've grabbed that plug. They're going that way.
Yeah.
So when you grab it and set the hook, it's game on.
And you're still going to miss some.
You're still going to miss some.
Yeah.
Another nice thing about putting those swivels on. Now, first of all, you can't fish treble hooks on your plugs in all rivers. So you got to check your rigs, right? So you may be forced, depending on where you're fishing, to change them out. The nice thing about that swivel is, versus having a hook that has a minimized radius, when that fish grabs it and that hook gets in, when that fish turns and flips and spins around and does all that, if that hook doesn't have the ability to turn, oftentimes that hook can bend or rip out. But those swivels, they add a real nice option for that hook to actually spin and follow that fish versus being fixed and possibly tearing, because we only get a couple chances at them. We don't want to miss out on that.
You guys have some favorite colors of Quick Fish? You got some?
That's a pretty good one right there. I'm kind of a chartreuse and chrome guy. The fickle pickle.
Fickle pickle's a good one. Measles, cheese measles, funky chicken,
funky chicken,
chicken little.
Yeah.
That 745. It's like purple and cerise. There's a name for that, but we can't obviously say it here. But,
Lure Jensen has a bunch of great options and colors. Go to their site, lurejensen.com. You'll also find the Jet Diver on that website as well.
Size 20 Jet Diver, pretty standard stuff there.
We're going to do a short video coming up that we'll put on the Outdoor Line webpage on how to wrap your quick fish, and we're going to talk about different bait options. And Rob, you mentioned that you like sardines, and you know, I'll use sardines for the most part, but I change it up too. I mean, mackerel works well. Tuna, guys underestimate the power of tuna, and you know what we're talking about? Fish with lots of oils in them. You know, you can flay out your anchovies, you can flay out all different types. Yeah, herring.
Yeah.
I've used alewives. You know, why was I running alewives from the Great Lakes fisheries?
From the Great Lakes,
you know,
because they're oily, right?
Yeah.
Because they're oily, and how many guys last fall on the hump tulips or the Satsop were running alewives on their plugs? I mean, they're getting inundated with all this scent on these plugs, and they're getting hit with all these plugs all day long. And so, again, it's an opportunity to put a different scent out there with a plug doing the same exact thing. Maybe it triggers a bite, maybe it doesn't. But, you know, have your options. And do you cure your meat wraps before you put them on? There's some thought behind that.
There's definitely a couple schools of thought.
Absolutely.
There's the guys
that's a whole video in itself.
We'll break that down.
With your wraps,
yeah, so we'll do that. But
so you're going shrimping today?
I'm going shrimp today. It's opening season of shrimps. Open day of boating season. Of course, we had our halibut and ling openers earlier this week, and there's a ton more. If you ever have any questions, jump on theoutdoorline.com. Check out the forums. Great place to get informed. Ask a question on there, of course. Friend us up on Facebook. Dwayne England's got us dialed in on that.
Say hi. Lots going on there. People posting pics. There's actually pictures of a guy that we know that got some real nice butts. They're posted up on there. Nelly, if you need to see what those look like, look like, you just get on the Outdoor Line and or on the Facebook page. You're going to see
that halibut
no
fishing.
doubt.
Big time. All right.
We'll see you next week on the Outdoor Line.